Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back then to the GPVWC 2013 WSS season. We're here at the penultimate event in France, and we are at the nightmare of many drivers' minds. It is Magny Cours, and we're going to have two races, 15 laps apiece, which should and may very well decide, or I should say should, well, yeah. In crossover words, it should decide the drivers and indeed constructors titles for this round. My name is James Kirk, and we apologise for missing the qualifying session. Unfortunately, we had a bit of technical difficulties. We wanted to get the best stream possible to you, and unfortunately, that has taken a bit of time. But the top 10, as it were, Lucas Euler for Simic has taken his first pole position in the WSS in the 2 years that he's been competing. So great achievement from there. Ahead of Hardwick, Parker, Schroten, Hamnet, Alex Cooper, Allington, Watkins, Sovic, and Barrister. We'll go through them in a bit more detail when we head to the grid for race 1. But to give you the lowdown on what needs to happen tonight to make sure that drivers and constructors titles are decided, Alex Cooper must outscore Oscar Hardwick by 32 points tonight to be able to keep himself in title contention. Midnight must be 91 points ahead of Milk Racing, who are not here this evening, and will mean that they only have to score essentially 15 points. Say, at the end of this evening, we are WSS 2013 Constructors Champions, and it will be their second Constructors Championship wrapped up this year, because remember, Bathurst, they won the 2013 World GT Constructors Championship as well. So, what have we got to talk about here in this 1 and a bit minutes left before race 1? Well, we have a returning team, Racing Team Schroten, back in full force since Spain. It's incredible to think that was the last time that any RTS car was out on the grid. Heading them up this time is Northerner from England, Joshua Anderson, very excitable and looking to impress, although not exactly the fastest around. And also we have Theo van den Brink. Haven't seen him before. Not sure whether he's a past driver or not, but I believe he makes his debut here today at Magny Cours at GPVWC. And we wish both of them the best of luck, as I decided to go a bit posh there. To quickly go through the Drivers and Constructors Championships as they are, the top 5. Hardwick leads on 319. Alex Cooper is behind on 238. And then we have actually quite a close battle below that. The top 2 seem secure in both the drivers and the constructors. But the bottom 3 here, the top 5, is Parker on 152, Weeks on 116, and Malim, who's not here tonight, it must be said, on 102. In the constructors, we have Midnight on 385, Milk on 309, and then once again, very close standings below. We've got Simic on 194, FA on 153, Target on 136. They are not here as well. And so, even though we're in these last 2 rounds, even though we could have both championships decided tonight, there is still plenty to look forward to when we head to the final event of the season. I can't believe that it's already come this quickly. It's going to be at Nürburgring, a very challenging track, and a homage to the 2012 finale, which of course took place on the Nordschleife. So we're going back to Germany, going back to the same place, but we want more laps this time rather than 2 massive laps with not many places to overtake. The warm-up has just finished, and we'll be heading out to the grid for race 1, 15 laps of it's widely regarded as one of the most punishing and most tricky 4.4 kilometer circuits you will ever find in the world. Not a driver favourite at all, especially in these cars, but that's what the calendar throws at you, unfortunately.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
I think that's one of the great things about having a calendar. Yeah, so you'll have those tracks which everybody loves, everyone gets stuck in. And you have these sorts of tracks, the sort of tracks which everyone hates. And although we had very controversial Spa, which I shall get on to talk about in the warm-up of race 2, along with the reverse grid, of course. It yeah, it's, you know, plenty of chances for people to pick up points here, which others might not necessarily get through mistakes. So then, leading us off on pole position for amazingly the first time in his WSS career is Lucas Euler, the 2012 Super League champion, is driving for Simming here. In second is championship leader Oscar Hardwick for Woods Racing. He could very well win the Drivers' Championship here today. His main aim will be to stay ahead of Alex Cooper. Tom Parker for Midnight will come in third, with Roy Schroten, Lucas's teammate at Simink, coming in fourth. Harley Hamnet for CSG, another good qualifying from the Australian to get into fifth. And Matthew Allington for GP is sixth, which means that we are missing someone. Oh, it's Alex Cooper who's been... yes, of course, sorry. Penalties. Alex Cooper's been demoted. We'll go through them in a bit. Paul Watkins for TWR will then be 7th, with Scott Sobick in 8th and Scott Beresford in 9th for EGP, with Sven de Vries, race winner last time out of Spa, rounding out the top 10 for CSG. Alex Cooper, 5-place good penalty from last time out, is P11, with Paul Joseph for Royal Blue in P12. Podium sitter after penalties were handed out in race 2, Jason Muscat for Epic Racing will be looking to get more points here in P13, with Christoph Lichtenstein for Drag Racing in P14, as I believe someone's had a spin there. Not sure who it is though. Theo van der Brink for Racing Team Schroten, their return since Spain, is P15, with Menno Klont for Innovision P16. His teammate Nico DeConnick for Innovision is in 17, with Joshua Anderson making his debut here for RTS in 18th. Ennis Schutz, good qualifying for him for Drag Racing to take it into P19. We have then Chris Williamson, P20 for Woods. Kenny Liebert making his debut for TWR, replacing the podium taking John Watkins, is P21, with the two Roxals of Gary Lennon and Matt Richards, P22 and P23. Harry Vink, the Dutchman, will then take up P24 on the grid for Epic Racing, and Jordan Weeks for FA Racing, after binning it on his lap, will start from the back of the grid. The Englishman got a podium, a second place, another one at Spa Race 2, and we'll just have to see whether we can avoid the carnage to try and get more points here for the team which is currently 4th in the Constructors. So, everyone just lining up the grid now, and we will be able to start the 15 laps of racing action, which is race 1 here at Magny Cours. Lucas Euler awaits the lights patiently. The drivers start revving now, and we are away here at Magny Cours. Lucas Euler off to a decent start, so too Oscar Hardwick, and Oscar Hardwick's actually going to be on the inside here of turn 1, cutting across the grass. Lucas Euler going wide and looking to go to the inside here as he piled down into turn 2. Oscar Hardwick trying to make it around the outside. Lucas Euler trying to stay with him though, and is still side by side. Oh my goodness me, Oscar Hardwick actually just got ahead there. So Oscar Hardwick in to lead this race after a very successful launch. Tom Parker still there in third. Wonderful start from Paul Watkins up to 4-3. Pile down here into turn 3 now, and Paul Watkins has got Roy Schroten on his inside. Nice move from Roy. Oh, and there's massive carnage there. Oh, dearie me. I thought something like that might happen. And multiple drivers are around there. I see, Harley Hamnet, Jordan Weeks in there, Nico DeConnick as well. And a real shame for some of those drivers who were looking to get through all that carnage. Back up at the front though, things seem to have settled down. Matthew Allington up into P6, Sven de Vries P7. Alex Cooper is now P8 after his grid penalty. Scott Beresford P9, the top 10 rounded out by Scott Sobick for F8 Racing, so still there. And oh, there we've got a first retirement there in the form of Harley Hamnet, really caught in the middle of all that carnage. And I do wonder who caused all that, to be honest. It seems just like too many people going into the same corner, really. So we're heading towards the end of lap 1 now. Very nice battle actually going on here for P6, 7 and 8. We've got Matthew Allington leading Sven de Vries and Alex Cooper. Both of those drivers are considered faster than Allington. And Allington especially will be wanting to make amends for his Spa weekend in which he scored no points for EGP. And oh, there's someone behind there! Is that Scott Sobick? Yes, Scott Sobick has hit the wall and he's gone back down the grid. Let's see, is he going to repair? Oh no, he is actually going to keep on going from that. So fair play to Sobick. He's passed by very Vink, but I reckon that Porsche is very badly damaged. We know that these cars are extremely... Oh, hello, Tom Parker's got past Lucas Euler. I've just noticed that. yeah, these cars are very, very dense cars. Yeah, you wouldn't expect them to be damaged. As here we go, Lucas Oil trying to look around the outside. Tom Parker goes very wide though, and oh, is that Sven de Vries going through on Matthew Allington? No, well defended by Matthew Allington there. And I'll tell you what, the Englishman is really starting to create a train here as Sven de Vries, Alex Cooper, Scott Beresford, his teammate, is now starting to catch up onto the back of this as well. And, well, I certainly hope there's not much going on. Oh, Allington goes wide, and there's Sven de Vries diving through. Nice move there. Alex Cooper trying to do the same. Matthew Allington's going to try and keep on the outside here, and well defended Matthew Allington, able to keep that position for the moment. But these three going at it hammer and tong. Lucas Euler still trying to catch up to Parker. So that is Midnight in second and looking good for their constructors' chances. Matthew Allington though now trying to defend off Alex Cooper. He wants to get around the outside, and he's done it. What a lovely move from the Englishman. His championship rival Hardwick is very much too far up the road, I think, at this point though. You know, Hardwick will have to probably make a mistake in order for Cooper to even think about challenging for the constructors. Some say that he's given up even now, which would be a real shame considering that he's done so well to even get to this stage of the championship and stay within Hardwick's reach. Lap 3 of 15 now. And I'll have a look down the grid. I think, oh, here we go. Scott Beresford is looking for a move on his teammate. Oh, Matthew Allington. Onto the gravel he goes, and Jason Muscat is passed. I believe he'll be passed by Paul. Oh, no, is he? Oh, yes, he is. And oh, dear, Matthew Allington falling down the grid here. Paul Joseph is passed up into P10, and it's yet another incident for Matthew Allington. He just can't seem to get a perfect race at all. There's always something. And unfortunately, he has been siphoned out of the top 10 once again. He's now got Jordan Weeks in his rearview mirrors. He's made a real good charge up from the back of the grid to head into P12. Another retirement in the form of Gary Lennon, the Team Roxal man, out for, well, he's out again, and Scott Sobick in the end decided to call it a day as well with suspension damage. Oh, and here we go, Sven de Vries and Alex Cooper now close together. Oh, here we go. Oh, dearie me, there's been something happening at the back here as well. I see Jason Muscat he must have spun or something, because he's falling back into the clutches of Menno Klont. So Paul Joseph up into P9, Allington back into the P10, Jordan Weeks P11. Oh, what happened there? It's bizarre. Yeah, very nice battle here actually for the outside places. I think Sven de Vries and Alex Cooper, if there's a move, I'll certainly shout out to our cameraman Dave Carl Smith, and we'll go straight to that. But let's look at this battle then for P9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. Oh, hello, I do see. Oh, dear me, what's happened there? I think Scott Beresford has possibly made a mistake. Alex Cooper's up into P6, Sven de Vries down to P8. There's something's happened there, I'm not quite sure what. And here we go, Jordan Weeks on the inside of Matthew Allington. Through into P10. Menno Klont, very opportunistic there, going to look to the inside as well. Matthew Allington was on nicely, and he takes a nice tight line. Menno Klont, though, looks to be accelerating at a better pace to Allington. Still, nothing doing, and Jason Muscat has caught onto the back of this train as well. Paul Joseph very much trying to focus on getting away from it, though Jordan Weeks is free of Allington now, and will be wanting to make some impressions. Here we go! Oh my word, Matthew Allington from absolutely nowhere! Well, that was, oh my goodness, Paul Joseph's gone up as well. So Matthew Allington, that was very much a kamikaze move. Jordan Weeks, good evasive action. Paul Joseph pushed wide. Now he's got Menno Klont on the inside of him, and there's only one way through this tight chicane, and that's single file. Paul Joseph losing out there. Look at Jason Muscat here as well. Jason diving up the inside of this tight hairpin. And Paul Joseph, in the case of one straight in the chicane, has lost 4 places. Once again, shuffled to the back. Great battling between these guys in the midfield. Really good stuff. Jordan Weeks, I think, though, will be able to safely escape the clutches of everyone else. And who's up? Oh, Sven de Vries is off! Oh, Sven de Vries lost it at the second fast chicane in Sector 2. And he has been siphoned down behind. Oh, here goes Perry Bink up the inside. Can Sven de Vries hold on? I think he can. Yes, he does. But Sven de Vries down to P15. Awful, awful luck for the American there of Dutch descent, we believe. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. Put the up with P5 here now. Paul Watkins has had a very quiet race as we're on lap 5 of 15 here. But his race is about to be disturbed by Alex Cooper on a real charge through the field here. Now 8 seconds adrift of leader Oscar Hardwick. And oh, he goes wide onto the gravel as well. Really not good stuff here for Cooper. But Paul Watkins doing a very credible job up in P5. His son, John Watkins, announced just recently that he was going to leave the team because he didn't have the time to drive with Paul Watkins, his dad, as we like to call him, the old man affectionately around here. 58 years of age, can you believe it? And still going strong as a sim racer. He's brought in Kenny Lieber to the team, and he's currently P19, so not really excelling. But he's doing a stand-up job, is Paul, actually, keeping off Alex Cooper. And I think that should definitely get a good mention, because a top 5 for the old man would certainly be something that he would love. Behind them, Scott Beresford is doing his job in P7, and let's have a little look back. Oh, here we go, P10 and P11. Menno, oh, and what's that? Matthew Allington's lost out there. I think he might have gotten on the accelerator too much. But he's fallen down behind Christoph Lichtenstein now. As we look to Menno, he's got past Jason Muscat. And after a less than impressive debut, a disqualification followed by a 14th place in Spa, Menno really looking like a stronger driver here, like the Super Cup driver he is. And oh dear, who's that in the gravel? I think that might very well be Joshua Anderson or Theo van der Brink. It was indeed Joshua Anderson, who I think has beached it. Unfortunately, he's just keeping it in the gravel there. Don't know why. But here we go, Menno. Oh, and Jason Muscat through once again. Oh, Menno Clont. No, Menno Clont's on the inside here as we go into the final chicane. Lovely switchback move from Menno Clont. He's up into P9 once again. And watch out for Paul Joseph is behind them. Look at this. Christoph Lichtenstein, Matthew Allington, Matt Richards, and the returning Spencer Brees. Oh, my word. Matthew Allington, like, wow, and Menno Clont's around there. My words. So much happening around this first corner. Matthew Allington threading the needle through 4 cars. He's got himself back up into P11, a wonderful move. Menno Clont seemingly getting understeer there into turn 1. He's down to P16 now, out of the points. And you can just see how close this racing is. One mistake and you'll be out of the points. As here goes Christoph Lichtenstein and Sven de Vries down the inside of Matthew Allington. Matthew Allington siphoned down to P13 once again. Great action here. Magny Cours, one of the best races I've seen in WSS in a long time, as we head into the far chicane with these guys once again. Sven de Vries trying to find a way past Christoph Lichtenstein, the German, for Drake Racing. This isn't even for the top 10. Paul Joseph is laughing as he moves off into the distance to try and catch Jason Muscat. Let's have a look. Alex Cooper still has not got past Paul Watkins, so the old man's still doing a stand-up job there. To read the battle to watch out for is Sven de Vries is round and well avoided. Matthew Allington and Sven de Vries. I mean, look, you can see one mistake. Sven de Vries is P14, muscling his way past Matt Richards once again, but one mistake and you could be out of the points so very quickly. And this is wonderful racing from everyone. Wonderful. I mean, I go to people are making mistakes, yes. But you genuinely have no idea what is going on. As we're here on lap 7 of 15, the halfway point now. Your leader is Oscar Hardwick from Tom Parker and Lucas Euler, sorry, there. Is in P3, Roy Schroen Watkins P5, Alex Cooper P6, Scott Beresford P7, Jordan Weeks P8, Jason Muscat P9, Paul Joseph P10, Lichtenstein P11, really escaping Allerton now, who's P12, trying to fend off Sven de Vries, and Matt Richards in P13 and 14. Perry Vink in the point for Epic Racing. Can he score that very elusive point which so many people fail to get here in WSS? Chris Williamson P16, Menno Clont P17, Nico Draconic P18, Kenny Lieber P19. He is just about holding off Theo van der Brink, who is in P20. Your retirement so far are Harley Hamnet, Scott Sovic and Gary Lennon. So, I see it. Matthew Allington's gone wide of the chicane and through goes Sven de Vries once again. Oh, and Sven de Vries has almost lost it. Oh, and well, talk about cutting your nose off despite your face. He just absolutely cuts across Matthew Allington there. No harm done though, it seems, and the American is up into P12. Matthew Allington though is really caught in this really good balance. Oh, Sven de Vries goes wide again, and through mistakes, once again, Matthew Allington up into P12 though. Sven de Vries is right on the back of the Englishman, and they've got to watch out because Matt Richards and Perry Vink are right there. They will be wanting to pick up the pieces of this battle if it goes to hell, as we've seen so many in this one race already. A nice exit there from Sven de Vries, a nice exit from Perry Vink there. in the background as well who look to get past Matthew Richards, who are on lap 8 of 15 for these guys now. At least they're 30 seconds off the lead. Can you believe? And Matthew Allington taking a nice line actually through there. And oh, Sven de Vries is round! Just caught that in my eye. Sven de Vries is round as Perry Vink moves up into P14. He is side by side with Matt Richards. Let's have a look at this battle. Matt Richards on the inside, Perry Vink on the outside. And Perry Vink will now switch to try and attain the slipstream. Possibly a dive through into turn 4. He makes it. Nice move from the Dutchman. Perry Vink up into P13, staring at his first 3 points then for Epic Racing Team, who are looking to have double points finish here, which would be extremely impressive actually for the outfit. Oh, Paul Watkins is round. Paul Watkins is round, and I think that might have been contact with Alex Cooper, because Alex Cooper slowed and it has allowed Scott Beresford past there into P6, and I'm sure that must have been contact because Alex Cooper slowed down specifically to let Paul Watkins back through. So Paul Watkins maintains P5, but now they have got Scott Beresford to worry about very much. The Beresford in the middle of the sandwich here. Jordan Weeks is there as well and looking to score more points here for FA Racing. And well, this battle for P5, 6, 7 and 8, we thought that the battle for the midfield was good. This is surely going to heat up with 4 top-class drivers all battling out for very good points. Scott Beresford locks up and Alex Cooper will have a look up-down onto this huge back straight. Scott Beresford comes out of the corner ahead, but Paul Watkins is pulling away, and I tell you what, Scott Beresford will not be doing Alex Cooper any favours. Remember that Cooper must outscore Hardwick by 32 points this race evening to even think about staying in the titles fight. He dives through on Scott Beresford, and that was a very rough move from Cooper, though the two are still side by side. Beresford has the better acceleration. Oh my word, he pretty much had to edge his way across the car of Alex Cooper, and Alex Cooper going just a bit wide. Can Jordan Weeks look through? No, he can't. But here comes Alex Cooper through down on the inside of Scott Beresford, and lovely move from Alex Cooper, though Scott Beresford, fair play to him, he's been able to hold onto the position. Bit of beeping, must be said, but Scott Beresford's going to hold this inside line up into this second chicane, and let's Alex Cooper look around the outside. Oh, dearie me. Well, that was contact there, and I'm not sure who to blame, but Alex Cooper now has Jordan Weeks to worry about, unfortunately, and, well, that's up to the race stewards to decide. There goes Dennis Schutt being lapped once again, and I think that battle will settle down for a bit, but there was a bit of thing there, so clearly someone not happy with the driving standards of the other, whether that be Cooper or Beresford, I'm not sure. Right, let's have a look at the battle for P11 and P12 here. Matthew Allington, since losing Sven de Vries, has been on a real charge and has caught up hand over fist to the German Christoph Lichtenstein for Drake Racing, currently occupying P11 as we're on lap 10 of 15 for these guys now. Matthew Allington seems to be all over the place this race, doesn't he, once again? And is that? Yeah, that's Christoph Lichtenstein wide, and an easy position taken for Matthew Allington, who heads up into P11. Right, let's see if there's another juicy battle to look for further down the grid for you guys. I see Menno Klontz going off in the distance there. Theo van der Brink. I see Joshua Anston around again. Surprisingly, we've had no more retirements actually since lap 2. I remind you, Harley Hamnet, Scott Sovic and Gary Lennon, those who have lost out. Back up at the front, Oscar Hardwick has now got a 5-second lead to Tom Parker and Lucas Euler and Roy Schroten, all of whom have had very quiet races so far, must be said. Paul Watkins is now starting to see Alex Cooper very quickly reappear in his rearview mirrors, and with him dragging Jordan Weeks, the Englishman, as Oscar Hardwick goes into lap 11 of 15. Scott Beresford kind of on his own now on lap 10 here, P8. We've got Jason Muscat kind of on his own in P9. Paul Joseph kind of on his own in P10. It's very much spread out from the early race action. As who is this we have together? It was going to be a battle between Nico DeConnick and Chris Williamson, but I think that has sorted itself out very quickly. Yeah, let's have a look at the battle between Alex Cooper and Paul Watkins here. This is probably the closest one on track, which means the most. This is Alex Cooper trying to have damage limitation, really. Oscar Harvick on 25 points currently from this race. Alex Cooper on 10. That is 15 points. And actually, thinking about it, at this stage, Paul Watkins almost loses it into turn 4 there. Yeah, actually thinking about it, if this result stays as it is, Oscar Hardwick will be named Drivers' Champion of 2013 because Alex Cooper will be too far behind, I believe, on points difference if I am thinking correctly. I'll have a quick check for you after the race, but Paul Watkins locks up into the tight hairpin here as Sector 2. Alex Cooper straight back on it. They've got to watch out for Jordan Weeks, who lingers in the background. Always willing to pick up points is Jordan, and he seems to have a podium in him every race. If not that, then a very strong top 10 finish, and that is what he's going to be looking to do here. And look at this now. Paul Watkins really seems to be struggling on his tyres, and that's allowed Jordan Weeks to catch up. And look at him now, right on the back of Alex Cooper as we head down into this very tricky last section here at Magny Cours. Alex Cooper looks to the inside, but nothing doing. It's a tight right-hander, followed by a very tight chicane. You've got to take it nicely, otherwise you'll be spinning around into the wall on your left or heading out into the wall on your right. And Alex Cooper seems to have a better exit from that chicane than Jordan Weeks, and he's right onto the back of Paul Watkins here once again as we head into turn 2, a very long right-hander. And Cooper taking the wider line in an attempt to try and get better acceleration onto the gravel there a bit, and now he's under pressure. And Jordan Weeks, he seems to have taken that corner quite badly here on lap 12 of 15. And Jordan Weeks in the slipstream is going to pull out to the left here as the Englishman on the other Englishman, heading down into turn 4 now. Jordan now breaks himself and he's not able to get the cup, so Alex Cooper is safe for the moment. Jordan Weeks will have to stay behind in single file unless he can make a very dead move down to either of the far chicanes. So on that 12 of 15 here, your point scorers still are Oscar Harvick, Tom Parker, Lucas Euler, Roy Stroton, Paul Watkins, Alex Cooper, Jordan Weeks, Scott Beresford, Jason Muscat, Paul Joseph rounding out your top 10, Matthew Allington, Christoph Lichtenstein, Matt Richards, Chris Williamson, and Nico DeConnick for Innovision. Rounding out your points there. Oh, I see Alex Cooper. Alex Cooper is past Paul Watkins there. And oh, hello. Oh, Jason Muscat's gone off. Jason Muscat's gone off, and he's let Paul Joseph through for P9. Matthew Allington quite close to Jason Muscat at this point. And oh, Jordan Weeks has been off somewhere. Or has he? No, I apologise, he's not. He's just... Actually, yes, he is. Yes, he is, because Scott Beresford's passed him, and I'm not sure quite what's happened there. But Alex Cooper then is past Paul Watkins. He's up into P5, and Paul Watkins down to P6. At the same time, Scott Beresford is now in P7. Oh, Jordan Weeks. Well, he just sort of went into the back of Scott Beresford. Unfortunately, not much he could do there. And the Englishman now has a lot of work to do to catch up to Beresford before the race end. We are here on lap 13 of 15. And it seems like Jason Muscat has been able to save that top 10 position for the moment. No more retirements since lap 2. So we still have 22 runners and riders here. A very impressive total considering the devastation that has occurred throughout majority of the WSS season. I noticed that second, third and fourth are starting to close together. So that's Tom Parker, Lucas Euler and Roy Stroton. And I wonder if that battle is going to flare up in a bit or so. Because it certainly looks like Lucas Euler is catching up to Tom Parker at a rate of knots here. Apart from that, I really don't see many close battles actually. Yeah, not much really, unfortunately. So yeah, let's just have a little look at this battle between now P2, 3 and 4. And oh, look at that, Tom Parker totally takes the chicane wrong, and he looked like he was struggling, and so both of the Simic boys are now past Tom Parker. But to be brutally honest, this is that Lucas Euler off? Oh no, it's not. Apologies, it's not. It's someone else's. Is that Joshua Anderson retiring? It might very well be. But yeah, Lucas Euler and Roy Stroton both passed Tom Parker. But as I say, this is all that Tom needs to do. If he finishes where he is, then Midnight has won the Constructors' title here in 2013, heading down to turn 4 on lap 14 and 15. These three as close as ever. Lucas Euler, though, pole sitter, starting to race away as Roy Schroten tries to hold off his former teammate at Simming, Tom Parker, who has been promoted now to the Midnight team. We're not sure how everything's going to work out next year, of course, but they put their faith in Parker and he's done them a good service. Heading into this tight chicane, Lucas Euler really does seem to have the better tyre wear here, restarting to pull away from the Dutchman and the Englishman. And mind you as well, Roy Schroten does seem to be holding off Tom Parker rather nicely, actually. And who's this? Hearing lots of tyre screeching everywhere. The circuit never the Magny Cours is very, very aggressive on the tyres, and I think this is possibly why Tom Parker is losing out now. He just doesn't seem to have that setup nailed. He seems quite content, actually, to sit behind Roy for the time being, although Roy locks up into this final sector, as does Tom Parker. Oscar Harbeck is now on the final lap of this race. He's led it from, well, almost from start to finish. Of course, Lucas Euler led it for a bit, but as soon as they were onto that back straight, Hardwick was really, really just in the driving seat and doing everything he needed to be able to take the win. Lucas Euler has a mini, he's lost it minorly in turn 2, and Roy Schroten is now up into P2, and look how close these three are now. Roy Schroten looking for his best result of the season here in second. His best result at the moment is P3. Quite frankly, they're going 3 wide now into turn 4, and who will come out best? Oh wow, well manoeuvred by Tom Parker. That was a wonderful move from the Englishman, who moves his way back up into P2. Lucas Euler looking to go around the outside of Roy Schroten, and Roy Schroten's lost 2 positions there. Oh! Contact between Parker and Euler, and Roy Schroten once again flies through into P2. This is desperation stuff from all these guys. Roy Schroten P2, Tom Parker P3. Lucas Euler outside of the podium. It would be another podium since 2012 for Euler. And well, these three are going hammer and tong with each other. They don't care that they're sister teams. They're just going for position at the moment. Heading now into... heading now, just looking at this battle. Yep, nothing happening there. So, round the final chicane comes Oscar Hardwick. I'll double check once I've got my calculator out whether he's won the driver's title, but it's another win. Oh, and it is, he has won the driver's title. We've received confirmation there that he has. Someone's already done the calculations for me. And oh, Lucas Euler's through on P2 there. Roy Schroten's lost out again. And well, what a battle across the line. This was so close. Lucas Euler beating Tom Parker there by not a 10th, but 100th of a second. So close. Roy Schroten denied a podium. A real shame there for the Dutchman, but that was an excellent race to the finish. Alex Cooper, he's lost on the driver's title, unfortunately. Both titles are now confirmed. Oscar has won the drivers, but Cooper will be happy because his outfit, Midnight Motorsport, has won the constructors. Paul Watkins, a very strong race from him again. P6 with Scott Beresford, P7. Jordan Weeks comes home P8 with Paul Joseph, P9. Closely followed actually by Jason Muscat, fair play by him. Matthew Allington came home in the end in P11 with Christoph Lichtenstein, P12. Matt Richards comes home P13 with Chris Williamson 14th. And Sven de Vries actually has just overtaken Nico de Koning. And Nico de Koning's had an issue here. Has he run out of fuel? Oh, I think Nico's run out of fuel. Oh no. And well, Nico de Koning, who was looking for a final point, runs out to the last. He runs out of fuel, and Sven de Vries takes home the final point. He will head up the reverse grid nominees, who are himself, Menno Klont, Theo van der Brink, Nico de Koning. Is it Nico de Koning? Yes, it will be Nico de Koning. So he is in the reverse grid pole slot. Perry Vink and Kenny Liebert. So I will quickly note that down for you guys. And I tell you what, actually, if de Vries gets that reverse grid pole, then I think we've got a very strong contender for race winner of race 2 here at Magny Cours. Because of course de Vries is a race winner himself already, won the first race at Spa-Francorchamps 2 weeks ago. So, well, what a race that was. Goodness me. Your 3 retirements with Gary Lennon, Scott Suffolk and Harley Hamnet. That was one of the best races in WSS I've seen. And for the title deciding race that it was, well, that was amazing. And I hope you agree with me on that one. Oscar Hardwick shouting, "I won a thing." Yes, you have won a thing, Oscar. Well, and of course, Midnight, that is their second Constructors title of the year after winning the World GT season as well. All they've got to do is win the Super League and it'll be a grand slam of results. Although I'm pretty sure they will have to take part in the Masters to do that, actually. So, there we go. So, we might very well actually get some interviews here though. But before that, it is time to find out who is taking reverse grid pole. Candidates are Spender Reese, Menoclant, Van der Brink, De Koning, Terry Vink, and Kenny Libert. And I'll tell you what, I've never seen many does in this reverse grid as this is. So let's have a look now. Who is on reverse grid pole? We have the full reverse grid of number 20, Kenny Libert, on his debut for TWR, will be leading the field once we get into race 2, so that'll be absolutely fabulous. But here, we have podiums, which is very unusual for WSS, or podium interviews, I should say. More importantly, though, we have a driver's title-winning interview in Oscar Hardwick. Congratulations, sir. Yeah, you are the 2013 WSS champion. You've been with 2 teams. You've won half the races this season. You must be relieved.
Not relieved, just happy. I've never won a Drivers' Championship before, and as much as this one's come well before the end of the season, I feel as though I've had good races and tough competition in the form of Alex. I mean, he's on the brink of winning World GT, and then you've had people like Lucas and whatnot come in. So the competition's been good, and I've still been winning races. So I'm chuffed to bits. Drove my socks off in that last race and sort of wanted to make sure I won it in style, not by the minimum. So yeah, fantastic, over the moon. And great for Milk and Woods, who are the 2 teams that have been there as basically the backing for me through the whole season.
Of course, well, Milk, of course, seems to have secured P2, a very solid P2, about 100 points ahead of Simic at the moment. Woods, who you are with now, you've forged a very, very strong partnership with Woods, and towards the end of this WSS season, I presume that your main goal now is to help them get as far up the WSS table as possible. I'm presuming you might be looking to retain your title next year?
I'd love to. I'd love to. It's going to be nice just to come back as someone who is defending a title. Even if I wasn't to defend it, it's a nice thing to have around you. It's a nice word to have associated with you when you come back to a championship, and that's going to be great. And genuinely looking forward to it. Looking forward to the remaining 3 races that we've got in this season, and I'm just hoping for the best, hoping that Woods can jump up a few more spots in the teams now.
Well, I won't keep it much longer. I understand you've got some vital race prep to be getting on with, but well done on your driver's title, sir, and we may very well be talking to you at the end of the evening.
Thank you.
All right, and we go on to Lucas Euler now. So, Lucas Euler, 2 years in WSS, you made your return last time at Spa, and you finally got that elusive pole position.
Moved out of your channel.
A podium on only your 2nd week's return. You must be extremely grateful for that.
Well, I didn't expect it, so it's always great to come. I'm not the biggest fan of Magny Cours, especially after last week's Super League. But yeah, surprisingly pole and quali, and in the race, quite an interesting battle with Tom at the beginning, and then Roy joined in the end. I nudged Tom a few times, but I tried to not gain anything from it, so I think it should be okay.
Tell you what, you say you don't like Magny Cours. I think that's quite a shared view here with the drivers in the paddock, but for some reason this track just seems to create epic final laps. We had that amazing final lap battle in Super League between Root Easterbeek and Jim Paresis, and here we are again, basically the battle for the podium being sorted over 2 laps. It was fabulous, and are you at least enjoying your time here back in WSS? Because I'm presuming that you didn't return to head up Midnight for a reason, I assume.
Well, I returned to have the team in general. I'm not the best in the Porsches in this mod, but I try to enjoy every race. When we battle like in the last race, I enjoy it, no matter what track and what car we're in. So that's always fun. That's my main point in this league, is to have fun and enjoy the racing.
Well, despite being fun, do you have any goals towards the end of the season? We only have 3 actual individual races left here. 1 here at Magny Cours just in a few minutes, and 2 at your home track, Nürburgring, where of course you won in World GT. Do you think you might be able to at least steal 1 win before the end of the season?
Well, a home win would be nice. It's always nice to win at home. So, yeah, probably my aim, but Super League has the priority, so I won't put that much effort in it, but we will see what happens in the next race and in the upcoming 2 races then.
Well, congrats on your podium here today, and good luck then in race 2, and we might see you at the end of the broadcast.
Thank you.
Right then,
User
so
left your channel.
P20 reverse grid. This is certainly going to be interesting because we've not had many of them, but from what we have seen, don't really make that much difference. I think there's such a deviation in talent to WSS that the really good guys seem to find their way to the front. It's always someone who is a worthy race winner winning the race, and I believe that if we're looking for one to look out for, it will be Spender Vries, who will be starting P6, of course. As I say, he could have had a better result for him, languishing there in P15 and not getting the reverse grid to his liking, but well, he's near enough the front. Of course, we could see something from Menno Klont, Van den Brink, De Koning, Vink. I don't understand why there are so many of the same surname. Van den Brink, De Koning, Vink. Then we have good old Live Air. Excellent. Right, so once again, congratulations to Oscar Hardwick and Midnight. Excellent results for them. And Oscar was saying, you know, it was nice to wrap it up so early. In a sense, not so early. This is the penultimate round, of course, of the WSS. As I say, we've only got 1 more round at Nürburgring, which will contain 2 races. So he left it later than I was expecting, must be said. But I think congratulations should also go to Alex Cooper, who was there with him almost until the end. Put up a really, really good challenge. And remember back to the mid-season where he got, I think it was 4 second places in a row. It might have been 3, I'm mistaken. But his highlight of the season must have been 2 second places in Monaco, of all places. He's had some wonderful drives, but at the end of the day, he just had nothing to match Hardwick, who, as I say, has won half the races this season, has taken 5 pole positions out of 9. A truly astounding achievement. He's always been there, and he's always made sure that he's picked up the points, not retired, so on, so on. And at the end of the day, that is why he is on top. You can't really get much more. I guess you could say consistency is key, but you need to win races. We've always been saying this, not only in World GT with myself, Lewis, and Mike, but in WSS here as well. You need to win races to win a championship. And although Alex Cooper has won 2, really nothing in comparison. So 3.5 minutes or so left here of WSS, and I would encourage you actually, after this broadcast, to go into the forum at Nürburgring. I want to know what your best moments of the season were. I believe I'll create a thread if you want to sign up to GPVWC. Please do, it's gpvwc.com. Sign up, get involved. I'll create a thread in the WSS subsection. And as I say, I want to know what your favourite moment of the season was, whether it be, for example, Alex Cooper getting 2 second places in Monaco, maybe Wupke Hoekstra taking a win in Monaco, maybe Sean Stroud getting his 1 win, whatever, you know. Think back, look over the broadcasts, And I think the best moments will be selected, and I'll definitely read them out and discuss them next time out at Nürburgring, our finale show. I feel slightly sad, actually, that it'll be the finale at Nürburgring. It's been a real up and down season, actually. Although you could say races haven't been that interesting, the championship itself has just been all over the place. Unlike, say, World GT or the career ladder, you've had very intermittent drivers. There's been those few that have stuck at it throughout every single race, but there have been new people coming in all the time. There's been returning people coming. There's been great people who've been looking for championship charges leaving the series, like Petter Kasa, like Sean Stroud, who I thought would really put on a good charge near this end of the season. Didn't happen, and it's what has made WSS in 2013 so exciting in its own unique way. Furthermore, we're not quite sure actually what is happening next season with WSS. Currently, I believe we're in discussions maybe to move it on to R Factor 2. We're not quite sure at the moment. I would say, if you are interested in taking part in WSS next season, do keep an eye on the forum, because the admins may very well want to discuss it with the drivers. They may very well just take the decision on their own. But if you are interested in R Factor 2, I must say, actually, before, GPVWC was not the place for you. Complete the R Factor League. In just a couple of weeks' time, I think in a month's time, the Masters will be returning with R Factor 2. And boy, oh boy, is it looking like excellent season. 6 rounds in Renault Meganes on R Factor 2. More realistic tyre wear, more realistic track wear, if you will. More realistic damage, more realistic anything. The revolution is here, and it starts in a month's time. Or actually, even less, I believe. Let's see, I believe it starts September the 6th, so it would be 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah. You have to double check. The calendar's on the site. But my word, it is looking good. I believe we've got Croft in there. I think Otterdron Most is possibly in there. I think Silverstone might be in there. As I say, go to the website, check out the calendar, and if you are looking for a brand new R Factor 2 league, which promises all the excitement that you see here in WSS and World
Attention
GT,
grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
go and sign up, and we'll see what we can do for you. So, the drivers now lining up on the grid for race 2, another 15 laps. Hopefully not of carnage, but hopefully it'll be just as exciting as last time. Plenty of spins and plenty of close battling. Hopefully the reverse grid will live up to its reputation as it is in other seasons. And oh, Christoph Lichtenstein's left. And that's a real shame for Lichtenstein. Scored yet more points, and that's going to be another race weekend marred by 1 point scored and the other not. So a bit of a delayed start there by Kenny Libert, actually. But he will take us off in pole position for the WR. With Perivik, or Epic Racing, the Dutchman scoring his first points, is there in P2. Oh, sorry, I lied. He didn't score his first points. Apologies. Liga Draconic will be P3 for Innovision, with Theo Vandenbrink P4 for Racing Team Schroten. Menno Klont is 5th for Innovision, and my pick of the field for the race 2 win, Sven de Vries, with there in P6, looking for his 2nd win of the season. Chris Williamson will be starting P7 with Matt Richards P8 for Team Roxal. Matthew Anderson for EGP seemed to be everywhere last race. He'll be starting in the midfield once again. And Jason Muscat rounds out our top 10 on the podium last time out in Spa. And we'll be looking for possibly the same result here. Paul Joseph will be P11 for Royal Blue with Jordan Weeks P12 for FA. Scott Beresford will start P13 for EGP. Paul Watkins will start P14 for TWR. Alex Cooper, now out of the championship, he just has to focus on getting 2nd with P15 for Midnight. Roy Schroten will be P16 for Simic. Tom Parker P17 for Midnight. Lucas Euler, first podium since his return, will be P18 for Simic. With Oscar Hardwick, our drivers' champion for 2013, started P19 for Woods. Joshua Hansen will then round out the top 20 for Racing Team Schroten. Dennis Schutz will be P21 for Drag Racing. Gary Lennon will be P22 for Team Roxal. And Scott Slovic, get your words right, James, will round out the field for FA Racing 23. So plenty to look forward to still, his last 3 races of the season. As I say, just because the championship is over, does not mean the races will be less exciting. If anything, people will be just gunning for it to try and get more points. Not much really to lose. Also worth keeping an eye, actually, on the battle below second in the championship. As I say, third downwards in both drivers and constructors is looking like a very close-fought affair. A good promise, as I say, good action in these final 3 races. So keep an eye on those standings. People could very well lose out, and people could very well gain much in the coming 3 races. So, everyone lines up now. The 2 divisions in P3 and P5 there, Nico DeConnick and Menno Klont, what can they do? Perry Vink seems very eager to get off the line, the Dutchman for Epic Racing. It will be Kenny Liebert. The TWR, his debut for the Belgian in the WSS. What can he do here for his new team in WSS? The lights come on now, and we are racing here at Magny Cours. Wonderful start once again from Perry Vink, who takes the lead of the race instantly. Kenny Liebert holding off Nico DeConnick as we head down into turn 2, this sweeping right-hander. Perry Vink, lovely start actually. Sven de Vries not making much gains. He's in P6 as Theo van den Brink gets pushed out and is actually just about holding off Sven de Vries, as we say. Kenny Liebert, though, on the back of Perry Vink, heading up into P4, as he turn 4 rather. The Belgian makes a dive for it, and oh, well done, bit of contact. And yeah, everyone else actually getting through rather nicely, must be said. I see a bit of contact and stuff, but oh, here we go, battle for the lead still raging on. It's Kenny Liebert versus Perry Vink. Perry Vink around the outside! And oh, Kenny Liebert, off he goes. Off goes Perry Vink. And it's an inner vision 1-2, can you believe it? Menno Klont now leads this race. Perry Vink has got swallowed, although that said, Nico DeConnick has been let out to dry there. So Menno Klont now leads from Sven de Vries, who has made his way up through the field very effectively there between the contact between Liebert and Vink. I don't know whose fault that was, really. But Vink there, right on the back. Nico DeConnick 4th, Theo van der Brink 5th. Here comes Alex Cooper, who's P7. He's getting squashed there between Matt Richards and Theo van der Brink. Matthew Allington and Scott Beresford, the 2 EGP guys. Oh my word, look at this. Cameraman, thank you very much. 3 wide for P1. Menno Klont, V Vink, Sven de Vries in the middle. Vink just about holds on. And now Sven de Vries has got to watch out. Menno Klont's going to look to stick on the inside. Well defended from Sven de Vries. Alex Cooper, though, P6, he's going to be looking up the inside of Theo van den Brink. But oh my word, good driving from Perry Vink to hold off such tough competition. Alex Cooper looking to the inside now. Not able to do much on Theo, unfortunately. As Jordan Weeks, Jordan Weeks goes through on Scott Beresford. Scott Beresford comes across. Who was that? It must have been Tom Parker, yeah, and the 2 colliding, unfortunately. I'm not sure whose fault that was either. But oh, here we go. Alex Cooper on the outside of Van den Brink. Oh, look at Matthew Allington there as well. And oh, Sven de Vries has gone. Sven de Vries has gone wide. He's down to PS. Oh, contact with Jordan Weeks. That was unnecessary. And down the order he goes. Not worth looking at. Now Perry Vink still leading the race. Epic Racing, he's doing the Muscat. Menno Klont and Nico DeConnick round out the podium as, oh my word, Alex Cooper diving through on Nico DeConnick. That was ballsy. He's up into P3. Nico van den Brink still there in P5. Matthew Allington up to P6. Jordan Weeks P7. Tom Parker P8. Matt Richards P9. But look at Scott Beresford here. Scott Beresford on the inside of Matt Richards. He moves up into P9 now. As we head into the second chicane, wonderful battling throughout the field still. Alex Cooper, though, he is up into P2, or is he? No, Menno Klont just about defends off the Englishman. And what a close battle this is for P2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 can be included as well, as Alex Cooper looks to the outside of Menno Klont. So we head into this final section here. Menno Klont goes to the inside. And well defended from Menno Klont. He holds on to the inside. Alex Cooper still can't find a way past. As here we go. Oh my word, it's going 5 wide into turn 1. Matthew Allington on the inside. What a move. What an opportunistic move from Matthew Allington over to P4. Theo van der Brink still 5th. Jordan Weeks 6, and oh no, Nico DeConnick spins out. Tom Parker up to 7th. Scott Beresford P8 and Alex Cooper. What's happened to Vink? I think Vink's gone. Oh no, where is Vinky gone? He's been swallowed. He's down to P6 behind. Jordan Weeks and Menno Clont now leads this race, but in the vision, he's going to try and hold off Alex Cooper into turn 4. The Super League versus Super Cubs. Oh my word, people still flying round. And oh, hello, Matthew Alex up to the podium. Jordan Weeks up to P4. Theo van den Brink in P5. Perry Vink down to P6. Tom Parker P7. Scott Beresford now P8. Lucas Oil P9. Scott Richards, Matt Richards rounds out the top 10, but it is Menno Clont on lap 3 of 15 here. He loses it slightly, and he's really trying hard to hold off Alex Cooper. Matthew Allington loses a position to Jordan Weeks, who's up into the podium once again. I said he has a podium in him every race. Matthew Allington looks to the outside as Alex Cooper looks to the outside as well of Menno Clont. Menno Clont stays ahead. Jordan Weeks stays ahead, and Van den Brink's going to look to try and get the opportunistic move on Matthew Allington. Oh dear, Tom Parker goes to the back of Van den Brink as well. Not good driving there on the Englishman as Menno Clont. My word, this is one of the closest battles I've seen at the front for a very long time, so we're talking the lead. Menno Clont once again defending well. If Alex Cooper's going to try and go around the outside, nothing doing. He's going to watch out for Jordan Weeks there on the inside, and he has to stamp on the brakes. And my word, that was very close to Menno Clont. Look at this, Alex Cooper is going on the inside, and Alex Cooper takes the lead of this race for Midnight Motorsport. Menno Clont losing a position. He's got to watch out for Jordan Weeks. I believe this might be Cooper's race now. An excellent fight from the back of the field for Cooper to show what he can do. Massive changings around. What has happened back there? Goodness me, there's been a whole shuffling of people. But Jordan Weeks now looks to the outside of Menno Clont, and the Englishman is already ahead of the Dutchman before they even make the corner. Can Clont hold on the inside though? No, he can't. Matthew Allington locks up slightly as we have Lucas Euler there defending off Oscar Hardwick, who's made an equally good surge up the field. Scott Beresford up to P7, Roy Schroten P8, Paul Watkins P9, and Gary Lennon now, not Matt Richards, in P10. So the two Team Roxals have switched positions there. Let's have a look at the battle between Lucas Euler and Oscar Hardwick here, P2 and P1 respectively. And oh, Lucas Euler almost loses it, but Oscar Hardwick is going to be looking for a way through here. Definitely the faster driver. Oh, I hear a crash somewhere, but we won't worry about that too much for now. Lucas Euler holding on, doing a decent job for Simic. Behind in the background, you got Scott Beresford and Roy Schroten battling out as well. As Oscar Hardwick dives to the inside. Oh, contact! That was, well, Oscar Hardwick better let him through, and indeed he does. That was a very ballsy move and a silly move if you ask me. Actually, no, he doesn't let him through. Well, that one's going to the stewards. That one's absolutely going to the stewards. There's Roy Schroten and Scott Beresford battle as well. Scott Beresford had got passed by Roy Schroten, but Roy is looking back on him now as well. Roy looking to the inside of the Englishman as we head into turn one once again. This fast left-hander, the two going side by side. And can Scott hold on? This will be a decent job if he does. Well done, Scott. He's able to hold on to P6, though I doubt on this back straight he will be able to do that for long. Roy Schroten, the Simming driver, will get the slipstream. Or will he? Possibly not. He closes up to Scott now. He's going to look to probably the outside. Indeed he does. He moves to the outside now. Scott Beresford braking early. Roy Schroten looks to go around the outside. And oh, well defended by Scott. Roy kept just about behind. That was very close stuff from these two battling over P6 and P7. Good points here still for the championship. Heading into this bar chicane now. Scott Beresford doing a very good job for Enterprise GP. The gap up at the front. Alex, oh, I heard someone spinning. Oh, nope, just okay. Right, oh, is that Tom Parker? Oh, Tom Parker's gone. Tom Parker's absolutely gone. He is with suspension. Also of note to gone, Theo van den Brink has also gone, as has Sven de Vries on lap 5 of 15 here. Alex Cooper leads by 5/10 of a second, is it? It is 5/10 of a second. From Jordan Weeks. Menno Clont is currently P3, although that might not be for long. Look at this, Menno Clont fending off from Matthew Allington and Oscar Hardwick, who's caught up. Oscar Hardwick looks as if he's going to try and take them both. He thinks the better of it, and he goes to the inside of Allington now, who loses another position. Oh, it's going to be close, and look at Scott Beresford there. He's caught up on this action as well. All for the podium position. Menno Clont in third. Oscar Hardwick fourth, and the two EGP boys, Allington and Beresford. Currently P5 and P6 is Oscar looks to the inside of Menno Klont. Can he make it stick? This will be a great move. He goes on the grass as well. Using all available road, but not able to do anything for the moment. He will have the slipstream though. Heading down into turn 4, Menno defensive. Oscar Hardwick moves to the outside. And this is going to be a ballsy move from Hardwick if he can get it done. He's on the outside. And Menno Klont just about holds on, but I think Oscar Hardwick's got a better drive, and indeed he does. Oscar Hardwick has the drive, and he is up into P3. So a great move from Hardwick there to take P3 from poor old Menno Klont, who's still staring at his best finish of the season. Another retirement in the form of Scott Tobic for FA Racing, his second retirement of the evening, unfortunately, is Matthew Allington now looking to the inside of Menno Klont. A bit of contact there on the back as he head up into this fast second chicane. It's Oscar Hardwick! Oh no! And oh my word, Lucas Euler goes airborne. Oscar Hardwick seemed to lose it. Oh no! And Lucas Euler just got flipped there. That was unbelievable. And Oscar Hardwick, is that his second retirement? I think it might be his first retirement of the evening. My goodness me, that was nuts. And look at this, Menno Klont back up into the podium position. P3 for the Dutchman, but he's got the two Enterprise GP boys, and Matthew Allington and Scott Beresford with a podium, Allington without a podium. I'm pretty sure Allington will be hungry because his teammate is the one with the podium, and he'll be wanting to prove to his manager that he can do it. And look at this, he's going to go around the outside of turn 1. Can he make it stick around turn 2? He sticks on the inside, and oh, Klont, and oh, Scott Beresford collects Klont there. And oh, well, Matthew Allington up to be the there's further carnage there, just lost it. And well, that means that Matthew Allington up to P3, Paul Watkins P4, Scott Beresford after all of that remains P5 with Roy Schoen P6, Perry Vinks still in P6 amazingly. Menno Klont amazingly still in P8. Look at Chris Williamson, he's in P9, he'll be ecstatic with that. Paul Joseph P10, we're on lap 7 of 15 by the way, I'm going through the halfway stage. Nico Taconic P11, Gary Len P12, Jason Muscat P13, Kenny Libert, pole sitter P14, and Dennis Schutz still with a point in P15 in unbelievable stuff here. Alex Cooper leads by 1.7 seconds to Jordan Weeks to be looking for his second place of the year. Matthew Allington though is P3, or is he? Oh no, he's not. Matthew Allington's lost it again, and once again Matthew Allington, another incident, and he falls down the pack to P8, a podium thrown out of the window. And he's really got to get on that now as Matt, because that's, well, let's see, P16 to P8, and oh, who's that going wide? I'm not sure who that was. But yeah, that means that Paul Watkins is now up into the podium position. Goodness me. Let's see, so that is, yeah, 8 points lost for Allington. And a podium as that as well. Into this final section, Paul Watkins fending off Scott Beresford and Roy Schroten. Roy Schroten looking very confident here as Matthew Allington going up into P7. I think he's got Menno Klont around the outside. A lovely move from Allington, actually. Let's have a little look back at that. I believe that was around the outside. No, it's on the inside. A sharp, yeah, nice move there from Allington, actually. Going down the inside of the final section there. Back up at the front, though. Oh, I see Roy Schroten has passed Scott Beresford, P4 and P5. And Roy Schroten will be looking now to try and get Paul Watkins, who will be looking for his first game of the year here on lap 8 of 15. Perry Vink, fair play to him. Still P6 after all this time as Matthew Allington now defends off Menno Klont down into turn 4. Nice defence from Allington. And, oh, is that Chris Williamson going wide? No, it's not, fair enough. Matthew Allington, though, looking good. I don't think Perry Vink's actually on the pace, though. I think Perry Vink's been lucky more than anything. Look at that lock up into the chicane. Goodness me, he's taking that much lower than others, and he goes wide, in fact. Will Allington think it fit to dive through? No, Perry Vink goes wide. And Matthew Allington looking to dive through. Perry Vink just about holds on. And I tell you what, Matthew Allington's seen a lot of times throughout the second sector. Klont's been left for dead, really. As we head up into this second fast chicane here, once again, a fabulous battle here. Magny Cours on the cards. Perry Vink locking up into this tight right-hander, and Matthew Allington will be looking back, and hello, what's happened to Alex Cooper? Oh, I think Alex Cooper's had a mistake. Jordan Weeks now leads. And yet more drama. Jordan Weeks, he's been looking for his first win since the first round at Austria. Yeah, and Alex Cooper just went off on the final corner. And so Jordan Weeks now leads the race from Alex Cooper. Paul Watkins still P3 ahead of Roy Schroen. Scott Barris of P4. Perry Vink just about holding off Matthew Allington, who's now looking for a move on the Dutchman into turn one. A little bit of banging. And oh, dearie me. I don't think that was a very nice overtake, Mr. Allington. Perry Vink shuffled down to P7 and now at the mercy of Menno Klont, who will be looking to gain more positions. Heading onto this back straight here, Menno Klont looks to the outside of the Dutchman. Not seeming to get much pace though. He should really have been in the slipstream. Is he going to make us late down to the outside? No, he's not. He's going to break early. And I think discretion, the better part of valor there. Save your nose for another day here on lap 9 of 15. Alex Cooper now 1.1 seconds behind Weeks. The question is, can he catch up that lead? Once again, Paul Watkins. Let's see, how close is Roy Schroten to Paul Watkins? Quite close, actually. Quite close. Let's have a look at this battle here. Yeah, let's have a look for it here. P3, P4, Roy Schroten. If he takes P3, will be getting his his joint best finish of the year. And I tell you what, at this rate, he will be looking very much to be getting it. Simic looking to secure P3 in the championship at the moment. And with FA Racing, oh, I lie, FA Racing, what's happened to Jordan? I think Jordan lost it at the final chicane as well. Alex Cooper leads the race once again for midnight. Jordan Weeks looking to the inside, and is he going to get around the outside of turn 2? Wow! Wonderful move from Jordan Weeks. Around the outside of Alex Cooper, the battle for the lead heats up once again. And I'm pretty sure that that was a mistake at the final chicane once again. For Jordan, it's amazing how many mistakes people are making around here, and it makes this race absolutely intriguing right until the end. Alex Cooper breaks late to try and get Jordan Weeks around the outside. Jordan Weeks forces him wide, and the Englishman retakes the lead of this race. Will be his first win of the season. Alex Cooper looking to go for the inside. No, he would never do that. As we enter the single file first chicane, Roy Schroten is into the podium position for Simic. He's got past Paul Watkins at turn 4. Meanwhile, Jordan Weeks still holding off Alex Cooper for the lead of this race. Alex Cooper looks to the outside. He looks to the inside now, trying every which way to get past Weeks, and he can't seem to find it. He looks to the right side now of this far chicane. Jordan Weeks cuts across him really nicely. Good defensive driving from Weeks. As we head now into Sector 3, will Alex make a stab into this tight right-hander? No, he doesn't. Weeks continues on lap 10 of 15 here. He's going to have to work extremely hard for this first win. A competitor such as Cooper will be wanting this win right until the end. He wants that third win of the season. And oh, Jordan Weeks makes a little mistake. Alex Cooper does too, though, and he's has a little tap to the back of Jordan Weeks. And let's see, well, they're still going very closely together. Alex Cooper looks to the inside, pulls back in. I wonder if he's going to try and make a similar move to what Jordan did. No, he won't do anything. I've just noticed Perry Vink has got past Matthew Allington. The P6 and P7 again. And those two are still battling side by side. Matthew Allington looking on the inside of the chicane. Oh my word. That was a ballsy move. And Matthew Allington just about makes it stick. He's up into P6 once again. Perry Vink looking to the inside. Much improved performance from Perry Vink, it must be said. And oh, well, I tell you what, fair play to Vink. Allington smashed him out the way at the first corner a couple of laps ago. And Perry Vink does not do the same regards as Alex Cooper. Oh, I think there's been contact. I think there's been contact between Alex Cooper and Jordan Weeks, because Alex Cooper is now letting Jordan Weeks back past. That said, though, their gap was so big that Roy Schroten was really unable to capitalise on that at all. Perry Vink, wow, Perry Vink's back ahead of Matthew Allington. Goodness me, this battle just does not die. And Perry Vink will be ahead. Yes, he is. He cuts across Matthew Allington. And yeah, fair play to Perry Vink. Staying ahead there in P6, very good points. Epic Racing, in fact, Jason Muscat, his teammates in P11. So Epic Racing, looking good for the mid-table. So on lap 11 of 15 here, your race leader, still Jordan Weeks, who is I'd say holding up. He's holding off Alex Cooper in second. Alex Cooper looking for his third win of the championship. Jordan Weeks looking for his first. I can tell you right now who will want it more. Jordan Weeks told us 2 weeks ago at Spa that he is very much driving for himself. FA signed him. but at the end of the day, it is himself who he's driving for in the Drivers' Championship, currently P4, with 40 points behind Tom Parker, who, remember, has retired this race. So this would be a very good chance to catch up on points they may have missed out on heading into the final round at the Nürburgring. Looking very quickly down the order, Sven de Vries has just left the room. Perry Vink has actually been able to pull out a gap on Matthew Allington now, so I think that has sorted itself out nicely here on lap 12 of 15. The retirement so far, much more than race 1. Matt Richards, Sven de Vries, Theo van den Brink, Tom Parker, Scott Sovic, and newly crowned Drivers' Champion Oscar Hardwick out of the race already on lap 6 of 15 there. Jordan Weeks, though, back up at the front, able to keep off Alex Cooper very nicely, actually. Just trying to see whether there's any battles we can go to. Things seem to have really settled down once again. Very much a calm before, well, I imagine it'd be a calm after the storm more than anything, actually. I see Lucas Euler off again there. Kenny Libert. Poor Kenny Libert. He is still there. He's still on for a point for TWR. Lucas Euler, well, after his podium, he's now 14th. Only 2 points to his name at the moment. Yeah, things seem to have settled down a lot, actually. Nice and calm. Actually, let's have a look at the battle now for P6 and P7. Eats it up once again between Matthew Allington and Perry Vink. Matthew Allington looking the faster driver. I did see him cut a corner there, but only very slightly. Matthew Allington, no. Right to the back of Perry. The Dutchman, as I say, looking for his first points of the season and looking very, very strong here. A very mature drive from the Dutchman as Matthew Allington dives down the inside. Well held by Allington, who seemed to have been losing it. Allington seems to have been going for very ballsy moves here, trying to make up for his self-made incidents, which have occurred once again. He needs to get rid of them. Heading into turn 1. He had to slow down, I'm pretty sure, there as we head into turn 2 here. Perry Vink locks up, though. Oh, and Perry Vink goes wide. Matthew Allington through for P6 there. Perry Vink. He's safe, though. Or is he? There's Paul Joseph in the background. I wonder, let's keep this for the moment now. I wonder if Paul Joseph at the end of the straight capitalise. I doubt whether we can, actually. Yeah, I think Perry Vink is safe at the moment. Oh, is he? Oh, my word. He slid there. Paul Joseph is very close behind him now, actually. Looking up at the front, Jordan. Okay, yeah, let's go back up to the front. I think this is a more important battle. Jordan Weeks. Just about holding off Alex Cooper now. They are really, really close together here on lap 13 of 15. Jordan has done a commendable job so far. And after he finishes this lap, if he finishes this lap in the lead, he will have 2 more to hold off Alex Cooper. Race winner, double race winner already. And Jordan Weeks puts himself on the board in wins for the first time this season. He's had 4 second places before this. Well, let's see what he can do. Joshua Anderson moves out of the way for Racing Team Stroton as the 2 leaders head past once again, lap 14 of 15. Once again, Magny Cours presenting us with a final couple of lap showdown, which will hopefully last right until the end. Who will make those do or die manoeuvres? To be brutally honest, nobody knows. I noticed Paul Joseph has actually got past Perry Vink there for P7 and P8. There's a close battle for P10 and P11 as well. Jason Muscat on the back of Chris Williamson. But the battle that we're all interested in here is the battle for this lead. Jordan Weeks v Alex Cooper. They have been in contact with each other. They've both spun. Both have made mistakes. Both are forgetting that now. What is in their minds is whether they can win this second race here at Magny Cours, the 3rd to last race of the season. It's all for glory now. No Drivers' Championship to worry about for these 2. Just who can score those wins, who can impress who can impress teams the most. Alex Cooper, with a lot to prove in Super League, certainly showing his qualities in these Tin Top Series in World GT, looking likely to win the World GT race tomorrow at Renault. And definitely in contention here to not only take and secure 2nd in a championship in drivers' terms, but to try and steal the win from Jordan Weeks. We're about to go onto the final lap here of this race. It's been yet another corker of a race. You could not have asked for a better penultimate evening here in the WSS. We round turn 1, Alex Cooper closes, really throwing the car in. We move into turn 2 now, a little lock up from Cooper. Really pivotal that you get on the power early at this corner. It really does help you on the back straight. Alex Cooper will of course have the slipstream, but Jordan Weeks seems to have had a much better run out of that corner than Cooper, hence why he's able to stay ahead. Cooper looks to the inside, Weeks on the outside, and Weeks able to hold on nicely. He'll have a better run out of this corner as Cooper takes the tighter line. Into sector 2 now we are. And Weeks has only got 2 more sectors to go, and you can win this race for FA Racing. Into the first fast chicane. He takes it nicely. Alex Cooper does too, runs out right to the ragged edge into this tight left-hand hairpin. Very nip and tuck. We've seen a few drivers spin here. Not the case for Jordan Weeks, not the case for Alex Cooper. We head up now onto this second straight in sector 2 to head into this uphill fast right-hander, then left-hander. Alex Cooper right on the back, really make a dive into this tight right-hander. We enter sector 3 now. Jordan Weeks has only got a short way to go. Cooper right at the back of him. He's been like a dog hounding the back of his owner from start to finish of this battle. Jordan Weeks comes towards this final tricky section. Alex Cooper will have to make a do-or-die maneuver. He tries it like Rude Hester Beak, but he doesn't make it. Jordan Weeks, he's only got a chicane to go. He's only got to make this work. And look at Alex Cooper, he's had a decent exit. Can he make it to line? No, he can't. Jordan Weeks, for the first time this season, he's finally won a race. Excellent effort from the Englishman. He wins for FA Racing. Alex Cooper, very credible second position. Another second position for him. Roy Stroton equals his best finish. Another podium to his name. Paul Watkins, P4 for TWR. Scott Beresford leading home. An Enterprise, oh my word, this was actually a lot more further away than I thought it was. Scott Beresford miles away in P5. Matthew Allington, after all of that, comes up incredible. P6, Paul Joseph, P7. Perry Vink scoring his first points, and good points too. P8 for Epic Racing, Menno Klont, who led this race for a bit. P9 in the independent division with Jason Muscat rounding out the top 10. Gary Lennon scores points for Team Roxal, P11. Chris Williamson, yet more points for Woods, P12. Lucas Euler, after all of that, just about beats Nico DeConnick to the line. Goodness me for P13. DeConnick himself comes in 14th, and poor old pole sitter Kenny Liebert. He's still going, bless him. He will score his first point of the season. Oh my goodness me, he loses it there. We can see him there. He's a full lap ahead of Dennis Schutz though. And he will score that first point of the season and a point for TWR. And I think he'll be very happy with that. Your retirements, Matt Richards on lap 4 along with Sven de Vries. Theo van den Brink on lap 5 along with Tom Parker. And Scott Sovic along with newly crowned 2013 WSS champion Oscar Hardwick on P6. And I remember telling you before this race even started, ladies and gentlemen, that I wanted to know what was your favourite part of the season so far, or in general. I believe this race, and indeed last race, have just provided so many more epic moments. This is by far and away the best weekend I've ever seen of WSS. And for all of those watching at home and indeed on the YouTube Relive, I hope you enjoyed that too. So congratulations going out now to all the drivers. We're just going to receive some people for interview.
User was moved to your channel.
And we start then with Jordan Weeks. You have finally won a race. Well done, sir.
User was moved to your channel.
You had a really, really tight battle with Alex Cooper there at the end. Explain to us how that was from your point of view.
It was intense and
User was
stressful
moved to your
because
channel.
I know if I let him in front of me, he has the pace to run away with the lead. So I have to do all I can just to defend my position and set the car up to power out of the corners, keep him behind.
Of course, looking at the drivers now, actually, Tom Parker retired from this race, and he's the closest man to you in terms of standings. You can still get him, I believe. Is that pretty much your aim now as we enter into the final 2 races at the Nürburgring to try and take P3?
Uh, no, it isn't. To be honest, I mean, if Parker races the next 2, he has the pace to be ahead of me. So I can do what I can there, but I just want to get the season finished. Been a long one, to be honest.
It certainly has, and well, all I'll say is well done on that win. It was well deserved after 4 3-second places. You finally done it. This is your breakthrough. Well done, and we'll hopefully see you next time at the Nürburgring. We also have another podium place here for Royce Roten, equaling your best finish. You must be ecstatic with that.
Yeah, it was a very good race. I enjoyed it. I had to start at the back, and in the beginning I didn't manage to pass a lot of people.
User left your channel.
So, but then other people made mistakes, so I could get it. But then I spun, so I thought that the race was over for me. But then people kept making mistakes in front of me, so I managed to finish first in the end.
User was moved to your channel.
I hope that Alex and Jordan made contact or something that I could win, but they didn't. They are good drivers. I want to congratulate Oscar, my teammate in Supercup for his win here. And Midnight, I managed to drive 1 race for them in Spa. And I'm sure that without me they wouldn't have won it. But they did. So congratulations to them. Alex, Lucas, and Tom are great drivers. I'm happy that I could drive 1 race for the team. So I call myself a little bit of champion, but not too much. I enjoyed it.
I think everyone who contributed to the Midnight Constructors win deserves their praise. But for you personally, we now head down to Nürburgring. Do you have any personal aims before the end of the season, or is it just to have fun, really?
Just to have fun. I don't know what the standings are, something like that, but I missed quite a lot of races, had some bad luck with my PC. I'm actually driving on my own PC now again, so I'm very happy it's managed to stay alive. So I'm very happy with that, and just going to have fun in the last races.
Well, we certainly hope you do. We certainly will. Well done on your podium, Roy. We now move on to, I think we'll do a little joint interview here with Scott Sovic and FA Racing team manager Teemu Toika. Now, I'm told, Teemu, that this is in fact FA Racing's first ever win at GPVWC. You must be absolutely over the moon with that.
Yes.
Yes, that's is that what you can say?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Teemu, kind of like the Kimi Räikkönen here, just doesn't want to say much. Perhaps Scott will give us a bit more to talk about. Obviously, not really your evening, Scott, but you must be happy for the team that, you know, you're not only 4th in the constructors, but now you've got a win to your name as well.
Yeah, I think that's all very good. Well, I've got to say, first of all, well done to Jordan for winning race 2. I was quite incredible, actually. Being able to hold off Alex Cooper for so long, quite a dignified win, I'd say for him. But no, my races haven't been too well. I've been struggling with the balance of the car. I was constantly having overheating rear tires, so I was constantly spinning off the track, and that just completely ruined both my races.
Well, Magny Cours is well known throughout the paddock as one of the. It's almost like a nightmare track. Is Nürburgring looking like any better opportunity for you? You know, we've seen you back in Turkey on the pace of the podium sitters on a good day. Do you think you might be able to, you know, have a really good final flourish for the team at Nürburgring?
I should hope so. I don't know if the track is anything like Istanbul. I suppose I would have a chance, but I haven't really been able to get the balance in the car since Istanbul. But still, I can't predict the future. I'll just have to see. But I do really want to get a good result for the team. I don't want to disappoint team much, but I just don't want to DNF. That's my main goal for the last 2 races of the season.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with that, Scott. Well done to yourself and Timu for Whatever Racing's first win. We now move to Joshua Anderson, debutant here for Racing Team Stroke. No points, unfortunately, but how was this for an experience for you?
Well, it was definitely something I'm going to learn from. I mean, obviously, I had, done a race before in Formula Challenger. I think it's a catastrophe. But, I came to the World Sports Series, my first race here in Magny Cours. I thought, I'll give it a shot, see how I do. And turns out, finished both races, let's start.
Only better than others, I'd say that. I mean, are you confirmed with Racing Team Stroke for the rest of the season, or was this very much a one-off and sort of then look to next year?
I think I'm probably going to be staying with for the rest of the season, and hopefully I'll get if Roy's up for signings for next year, next season I'll be up for racing with him because it's a very good team and great. It's helped us get my learning experience. Maybe next season if I'm still in the World Sports Series, I might be able to score some points. Who knows?
Channel.
Certainly a possibility with the amount of incidents you've had all year, Joshua. So really well done actually finishing both races. A very difficult feat here in WSS, it must be said. And now I'll go to Oscar Hardwick, who I think he's finished laughing at me for even thinking of questioning Timu here. Well, you caused something with Lucas Euler there, Oscar, flipping his vehicle.
User left
I know
your
you
channel.
wanted to finish the Drivers' Championship in style with a win, but I didn't realise you wanted to let your hair down that much for the second race.
Yeah, all just for the screen time and making Lucas have a big old flip. No,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. It happens with the mods and the various plugins running. I had a game minimization, and I was on the brakes going into the second chicane, I seem to remember, and so it just locked up and I believe was parked sideways
User
across the
left
track
your
right in front
channel.
of poor Lucas, who had nowhere to go. So nothing I could have done. Very disappointing to have DNF'd that race because I was on a good charge back towards the front. Not convinced I would have gotten near Jordan and Alex. They both had pretty strong pace and were well ahead of everyone by that point. But it's a shame. Got to apologise for Lucas, but nothing you can do if it minimises. And not exactly how I'd want to finish with my first DNF of the season, but Drivers' Championship's a Drivers' Championship.
It is indeed. And always plenty of chance to redeem yourself at Nürburgring.
Hopefully, things looking like I might actually be able to race for the next couple of weeks, although it's still very much up in the air. But if the opportunity is there, the availability is there, I will turn up at Nürburgring and at very least try and get myself on the podium a couple more times. If I could get another win at Nürburgring, it would maintain the 50% wins that I've got in the series, which is... It's just silly bragging rights, but it's something that I'd like to do.
A fun fact for the season, Oscar, and we love fun facts here at GPVWC. A fun fact for you at home, though, is that it will indeed be the finale in 2 weeks for WSS.
User left your channel.
2 races at the Nürburgring, both promising to be completely, absolutely brilliant because no one's really got much to fight for except their own personal glory. You should really join us there. I'm not sure who'll be joining me in the commentary box, if anyone, but I'll be there. You really don't want to miss it. This is the first end of one of the seasons here at GPVWC, and I certainly hope that we'll see you there. Bye for now.